charlotte.com. It's Thursday, and I wanted to do a video today on a really important issue and topic that I think needs to be addressed, especially in these times of need when, we have these hurricanes coming on the East Coast and going up the Atlantic, and then we also have the fires burning, in the West, and then we have all these other crazy threats going on right now with North Korea and all that stuff. So there's just a lot of reasons to possibly be fearful for all these things, but we don't want to be fearful. And so what I'm here to do today is to teach you guys how to worry less, put your fears aside, and help any anxieties that you may have over any of these issues going on right now. And you can also use this technique that I'm about to show you just with any issue in general. It doesn't have to be regarding the hurricanes or the fires or anything. This can be regarding over a breakup, or it could be about going over a divorce, maybe the loss of a loved one, really anything, any fear that you may have. And so this is really good for anybody to know. So I want to tell you guys a quick little story about what happened to me actually back in 2004. I'm going to put my shades on because it's a little bright. And so I was living down in Florida actually, back from, I want to say I moved there in 2002 and I was there till about 2005. So 2004 was a year that I didn't forget. I was down there for Hurricane Charlie, and it was really intense. I'd never gone through a hurricane before. This was a hurricane that was supposed to be diverted to Tampa, but it ended up going through the Orlando area. And so I was living down there at that time. And they said it was going to be about a Category 4, and it definitely was a Category 4. It packed a punch. It definitely left an impression on me. I was at work, and I believe I was at work right after the hurricane had hit, and somebody had said that there was another hurricane coming or something like that, and something triggered me, and automatically I just started getting really anxious. While I was at work, and I didn't know what was going on or what this feeling was. All I know is my heart was racing, and I was just feeling totally like I was going to lose control of myself. So, long story short, what I was experiencing was a anxiety attack, which I'd never gotten one before, so I had no idea what it was. And what my reason here is, guys, is to I wish I would have known what I know now. What I would have known then to help myself. So I wanted to make this video because I thought it was really important to reach out to folks in Florida, maybe people experiencing fires in the West, that might be dealing with a lot of anxiety right now. So I'm going to show you guys the technique. I'm not going to go more into my story, but you guys kind of get the gist. I'm going to go into this technique, and it's called the Emotional Freedom Technique. Some of you may have heard of it, some of you might not have. It's also abbreviated EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Basically what it is it's a form of acupressure. So it's based on the same energy meridians that are used in acupuncture, except we're not using needles, so we're actually going to be using our fingertips. And this has been around for about 5,000 years. And it really does work. It's used in therapy. It's just a really awesome thing that I discovered and I used. And I've actually helped someone before who was going through the same similar issue that I had at one point during that hurricane. So basically what you're doing is when you're using your fingertips, you're putting the kinetic energy into specific meridians, which is going to be our head, our chest. And while we're thinking of the problem, whatever the problem is that you're having right now, or the issue, or the traumatic event, it can be an addiction, pain, whatever. So while you're thinking of that problem, you're going to be tapping different meridian points, and we're also going to be saying an affirmation. So an affirmation is basically thoughts or words that you could be saying or thinking throughout the day, except we're going to be feeding ourselves more of a positive affirmation to reverse any negative affirmations that we might be saying in our head that we're stuck with at the moment. So what this does is this helps release any negative blockages that we have in our mind and our body right now. So by tapping these points. So let's get right into it because I don't want to talk too much before I lose you guys. But basically, be open to this. The healing begins when you are open to receive it. So I'm really into, obviously, natural health and holistic remedies. So besides eating well and all that stuff, which I show you guys videos all the time, you know, one of the most important aspects of the whole body and getting well is obviously our emotional health, which we tend to overlook. And so that's when EFT can really be beneficial. So no matter how devoted you are to diet and lifestyle, you won't achieve your body's ideal healing and preventative powers if your emotional barriers stand in your way. Alright, so to start out, we're going to be tapping on 9 points on our body, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the top of your head. So what you can do is you can go somewhere quiet if you want. You can even do this like if you're driving in your car and you're thinking about a problem or an issue or you're feeling anxious. You can do it in your bathroom in front of the mirror is a really great way to do it, because that way you're looking at yourself in the eyes and you're actually tapping into your subconscious. And that's a really good thing to do when you're doing that. But all in all, do this, you know, as many times in the day that you have time for, especially when you wake up in the morning. It's especially important at night because your body goes into, you know, the 6 to 8 hours of your subconscious. So when you're working through these affirmations, it's a great way to plant that seed when you go to bed at night. Okay, so we're going to start at the top of the head, and what you're going to say is, basically, for example, okay, let's say anyone going through the hurricanes right now, okay? A great affirmation would be, no matter what happens, I will manage, okay? So we're going to start at the top of the head, and you're going to say this as you're tapping. So we're going to start at the top of the head, and you're going to say, no matter what happens, I will manage, okay? Start tapping about 5 to 7 seconds on the top of the head. You're going to do each point for about 5 to 7 seconds, okay? Then you're going to do the top of your eyebrow right here and say, no matter what happens, I will manage. You're going to tap here for about 5 to 7 seconds. Okay, right at the beginning of your eyebrow. Then on the sides of the eyes, no matter what happens, I will manage. Okay, under here. And you're just using your index finger and your middle finger to do this. And you're going to tap lightly. You're not going to tap hard. Okay, you're just going to activate those acupressure points. So you're going to tap here. No matter what happens, I will manage. Okay. Then under your nose, no matter what happens, I will manage. Chin, no matter what happens, I will manage. Collarbone, which is like right or in this area right here. Tap right here, nice and lightly with the two fingers. No matter what happens, I will manage. You're going to go under your arm. You can do either side right here, tapping. No matter what happens, I will manage. And then the best point right here is the karate chop hand. This is the one that I always remember. If I can't remember any of these points, just tap right here in the karate chop part of your hand and say, no matter what happens, I will manage. About 5 to 7 seconds. I'm doing it a little bit longer just to kind of give you guys an idea. And then you go through the whole process again. You start at the top of the head. No matter what happens, I will manage. 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 And you keep doing this over and over again. So what you're doing is you're planting the seed of that positive affirmation in your mind. Okay, and this is going to help reverse whatever that feeling is that you're, that negative thought or that fear that you're having right in that moment. And so I recommend doing this if you're going to be riding out the storm and you guys are staying put. Do this during the storm. Definitely do it after the storm because that's when you're going to need it the most. But like I said, this is going to keep you calm, keep you stabilized. And it's important to notice how you're going to feel after you tap. You know, do you feel calmer? Do you feel like more hopeful? Do you feel a little bit of a relief after this? So just kind of be mindful of how you feel after you do this tapping. You know, we tend to beat ourselves up for every little thing, no matter how small it is. So all of us could use, you know, forgiveness on a daily basis. And this is just a great way to give your body forgiveness of the feelings that you're having, because it's normal. Everyone is going to be anxious and scared and fearful at one point in their life. And so this is a great way to help release some of those negative blockages and to get you feeling more positive in the moment, and just kind of take away some of that, that anxiety that you're feeling in that moment. So you can use any kind of affirmation you want. That was just an example that you guys could use for the hurricane. Let's say you've already been through the hurricane. You can tap and say, or you've been through hurricanes before. And so you could say, even though I have this hurricane memory, I deeply and completely accept myself. It can be anything. You can say, even though I have this fear of flying, I deeply and completely accept myself. Or sometimes I just say, even though I have this feeling, I completely accept myself. And that feeling could be, maybe it's, dread of whatever it is. But you just want to make sure that you tap on all those points that I showed you. If you can't remember any of them, and let's say you're driving in your car, or you're just, you're out somewhere and you can't remember, just tap the karate chop hand and say, even though I have this feeling, I completely accept myself. 5 to 7 seconds. And you're just going to keep practicing this over and over. This isn't something that's going to be a quick fix, you know what? But you can feel great right after you do this, I'm not going to lie. But if you don't feel anything right away, don't get frustrated, because think of it as, affirmations are like planting seeds. When we plant a seed in the ground, you don't have a full-grown plant right away, so it takes time. So give yourself some time with this, but definitely keep practicing it over and over, because I think in the long run you'll benefit from this emotional freedom technique. It's really awesome. I was introduced to it about 10 years ago, or maybe no, I think it was a little bit less than that, but if I would have known this when I was in Florida at the time, I think it really would have helped me after those hurricanes that I had gone through. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you have any questions or you want to know more about the emotional freedom technique, you can reach out to me at info@eatwellwithcharlotte.com. I'm also going to be having a YouTube channel called Eat Well, Live Well with Charlotte. You can subscribe to that on YouTube. I'll be posting all my videos over there, so if you guys want to catch this one again or whatnot. But definitely, if you guys like this video, give me a like, thumbs up, and please feel free to share this with your friends, anybody that might benefit from the hurricanes in Texas, the hurricanes in Florida that are about to approach, and the fires, anybody that could use some healing right now, because I think this will really benefit everyone. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more videos on eating well and also living well. Take care, guys.